What if I told you one of the most important science fiction films ever made was once considered a failure? In 1982, critics dismissed it. Audiences ignored it. Studios panicked. Yet today, Blade Runner stands as a sacred text of cyberpunk cinema, a rain-soaked prophecy about loneliness, identity, and what it means to be human. But behind its glowing neon and haunting music was something far darker. Actors who despised each other. Real injuries captured on camera. Toxic fog that forced crews into gas masks. Corporate empires that mysteriously collapsed after appearing in the film. And a legendary monologue that was never supposed to exist. Here are the truths Hollywood never wanted you to know. 1. Tears and Rain was never in the script. The famous death speech by Roy Batty, delivered by Rutger Hauer, was rewritten by Hauer himself the night before filming. He crossed out most of the dialogue and replaced it with, "All those moments will be lost in time, like tears and rain." That single improvised line transformed a villain into a tragic soul. Even director Ridley Scott reportedly stood in silence after the take. Cinema history was made by accident. 2. Harrison Ford and Sean Young hated each other. The on-screen romance between Harrison Ford and Sean Young was born from real hostility. They barely spoke off camera. During rehearsal, Ford reportedly shoved Young against a wall to find intensity. Her frozen expression in the love scene, that wasn't acting. That was discomfort. Crew members even nicknamed the moment the hate scene. 3. Daryl Hannah was seriously injured and kept acting. During Pre's escape, Daryl Hannah slammed into what should have been safety glass. It wasn't. Her elbow shattered into multiple pieces. She didn't scream. She didn't stop. She finished the take. That scar is still on her arm today. 4. Early drafts were nearly X-rated. Original versions leaned heavily into graphic sexuality. Replicants weren't just labor slaves. They were designed for pleasure. Studios forced massive rewrites to avoid an adult-only rating. But if you look closely at Rachel and Pre, that darker world still lingers in their eyes. 5. The crew revolted against Ridley Scott. Scott preferred British crews and once said, they simply said, "Yes, Governor." American technicians responded by wearing shirts reading, "Yes, Governor, my ass." Scott fired back with his own, "Xenophobia sucks." That tension never left the set. 6. The Blade Runner curse. Corporations featured prominently in the movie later collapsed. Pan Am, Atari, RCA. Fans still whisper about a strange economic prophecy hidden in the film. 7. Thousands of real cockroaches were used. Scott demanded realism. So instead of fake insects, they released live cockroaches under blazing studio lights. They began dying. The smell was unbearable. Actors performed while holding their breath. 8. Ridley Scott was basically fired after filming. Because of budget overruns, Scott lost control of the movie. Studios forced the infamous voiceover ending. It took 25 years before he reclaimed his vision with the final cut in 2007. 9. The title isn't from the original book. Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep? Never used the term Blade Runner. Scott bought the title from a completely unrelated script by William S. Burroughs, just because it sounded dangerous. 10. Actors wore gas masks between takes. The fog wasn't harmless. It was chemical oil smoke. Crew members literally put on gas masks while waiting for the next shot. 11. The film invented modern cyberpunk. Without Blade Runner, there is no The Matrix, Ghost in the Shell, Cyberpunk 2077. Every neon alley you've ever seen traces back here. 12. Real glass, real bullets, real risk. Zora's death scene required stunt performers to smash through actual glass with explosives strapped to their bodies. One wrong move meant death. No CGI safety nets. 13. Vangelis' score was trapped for 12 years. Vangelis created a revolutionary soundtrack, but legal battles delayed its official release until 1994. Fans survived on bootlegs for over a decade. 14. Roy Batty died in 2019. So did Rutger Hauer. The film is set in 2019. Roy Batty dies in 2019. And incredibly, Rutger Hauer passed away in 2019. A coincidence so eerie it feels scripted. 15. There are 7 different cuts of this movie, from studio edits to director versions. Only one is considered canon. Blade Runner, the final cut, 2007. The only version Scott fully controlled. 16. Blade Runner shares a universe with Alien. Scott confirmed connections between Blade Runner and Alien. Corporations overlap. Technology matches. It's one bleak future. Final thought. Blade Runner wasn't born beautiful. It was forged through exhaustion, injury, ego, chemicals, hatred, and obsession. It failed first. Then it changed everything. Not just cinema, but how we imagine tomorrow.